So, next up is The Sims Medieval. This is a whole new franchise for us. We haven't really shown this much. There's been a little bit of press, but you guys are sort of the first big group of fans to see this, I believe. Whole new franchise. We're going back in time, knights and sorcery and wizards, and it's just a completely new game. I've seen the demo a couple times now, and I really love it. Rachel Bernstein's going to come up here and show it. No winch jokes, no crone jokes. She's a fine lass. So, The Sims Medieval, everybody.
Corsel.
Alcor.
Busum viwabren.
Enfimar.
Quale Zori.
Nedranin.
Wicket Flaget.
Woman.
Louvain Zoric. Naseth Goven.
Valerig.
Hey guys, thanks for coming here tonight. I'm really excited to get a chance to show you guys The Sims Medieval. This is a game that we've been thinking about making for a long time. Middle Ages has always been really popular with the community, and we've been trying to figure out how to do it big, do it justice, and I hope you'll agree that all the hard work is paying off. We're pretty excited about this game. Sims Medieval is not what you might first think. It's not The Sims 3 transferred to the Middle Ages. We went back to basics and asked ourselves, what is the core of a Sims experience, which is about characters and storytelling? And we said, okay, we want to make sure that you're creating, controlling, and nurturing characters, but we also want to make sure that the stories that you tell feel medieval, like no stories you could ever have told before in a Sims game. So also to remember is that we've built the feature set around 3 core pillars, which are heroes, quests, and kingdom. So with that said, let's jump into the game and take a look. Okay, now, as you see, as we look at the environment, this is a world that you build up. We'll let Sam, my partner over there, is driving the camera, and she'll just give you a look around the world. You'll see that everything that we've done, the architecture, the artifacts inside, the textures, the lighting, everything is crafted to really immerse you in a medieval experience and help you tell medieval stories. This is a world that I built up as a player. I started with just that central part of the castle, and every time I brought in a new building and a new hero, I was expanding my kingdom and the number of stories that I could tell. We come around up here, I'm not going to give you a tour of my whole kingdom, but here, for example, you see that I've brought in 2 churches side by side. We have 2 fictional religions in the game. The Jacobins are in that big, grand cathedral, sort of Gothic looking. And then next door are the more humble Paterans. The Paterans are friendly and try to get converts through popularity, whereas the Jacobins rule by fear. Now, the religious conflict was a big part of the Middle Ages, and it's really up to the player whether they want to bring in one, both, or neither of these buildings and play with the heroes that come with them. Let's take a look up inside the castle. This central part of the castle is the very first building that you start with, and the first thing you do in the game after you've chosen your ambition, which we'll talk about, is create your monarch, which could be a king or a queen. And now we're going to take a look at what this throne room looks like. If we pull back the camera a little bit, you'll get a feel for the scale of the place, these huge spaces that we've never seen before in a Sims game. This is a public space where the king lives and works. He doesn't commute to his king job in the day and then come home at night. If we take a look around, we can see there's a scribe table, and his scribe is there busy writing laws and getting things ready for him. Let's have him go on over to the tactical map, which is on his edict table. He can use that map to think about the territories that surround his kingdom, and he can create relationships with them. You send out ships to scout them, and we can get rid of that. But the more that you scout them and get to know them, you can do trade with them, conduct diplomacy, you can have conflict with them. The leaders from those territories come to your kingdom and visit you. If we head upstairs, we'll see what his living quarters look like. The king has 3 spacious areas for his living quarters. He's got his kitchen where his servants make him food. In the middle, we've set it up that it's his bedroom. And on the far side, we've set it up to be his changing area. He's got his bathtub, a wash bucket, a chamber pot. Let's head back downstairs again. Now, the king has many different skills and special abilities because he's the king. And one of the things that he can do is he can punish people. Let's go take a look at the judgment zone. So if you incur the king's displeasure, he may send you to the stocks where someone will throw tomatoes at you or maybe eggs. But if you're really in trouble or you get in trouble some other ways, you will be executed. And the way that we do that in The Sims Medieval is with the Pit of Judgment. We're going to give you a little sneak peek at what that looks like today. You're not going to get to see the beast that lives in the pit in action today. We're saving that for a little later. But what you see there is the executioner standing there by that plank. And the executioner tends the beast, throws meat to him. And if you do execute somebody, they end up being pushed and prodded and forced to jump into the pit, where most likely they will never come out again. Oh, good. We see him getting to throw some of his food in there. Okay, now let's have the king get into a sword fight. I want to show you guys what combat looks like in the game. So that's under the monarch area. You can see that he can spar with the executioner. Now, why would we bother to have the king spar? One of the reasons is it's going to bring up his experience level, and it's going to make him a higher level, more capable monarch. All of the different hero sims that you control are all leveling up, getting better and more powerful. And sparring is one of the ways that a monarch or a knight or a spy gains experience. So the two of them are going to walk off to a good area to have their fight. Actually, they're heading right down to this hut, which is the executioner's hut. That's where he lives. So he can jump out at any moment and tend to the beast that lives in the pit. And you'll see that the two of them are going to take out their swords. It's annoying that they try to always stand under the tree lately, but we'll get in there in a second. And in this fight, okay, the executioner has a flaming sword, and our king has a regular sword. There is a wide array of different types of swords in the game that come in during quests. The blacksmith can make different swords or an epic sword for a quest. While they're fighting, you can see in the top left, we're tracking the yellow and red are the stamina and health bars of the two combatants. He got some experience for that, though, so I'm sure he felt that was worth it. And this battle, which is not a duel to the death, although that is a possibility, will end when one of them has their health or their stamina down to 0, and then they'll have to give up the fight. Now, this is just a level 1 king. I haven't been playing him very much in this game, and you can see that he's basically getting his butt handed to him by the executioner. But if I played him a bunch and he got better at it, I'm sure he could come back and teach her a lesson. There, at least he got a blow in there, and he's getting better. But things don't look good for him overall. She's feeling pretty good about that. Okay, so now the king has been disgraced, but if I play with him long enough, he'll get better. He's been knocked out. All right, so while the king is knocked out, in fact, you can see the progress bar of how long he'll be knocked out in the top left. Let's talk about the next thing. I talked about heroes, quests, and kingdom building. Let's go to kingdom building and see what that looks like. So we're going to pull the camera back out. Let's have a look at the castle, and we're going to go to kingdom view. This is a sort of dynamic map view of the world where you make decisions on a kingdom level about how you want to expand your kingdom, what new quests you want to take on. You can learn about how your kingdom is doing, what the aspects are. If we take a look at those, you see that we're tracking 4 aspects about your kingdom: well-being, security, culture, and knowledge. Bringing in new buildings adds to your aspects, and doing quests fills it out. We also can be reminded of what our ambition is. When we start the game, we choose an ambition, and we're going to get an achievement for that and for doing quests at the end of each playthrough. In this one, we're a busy builder. We want to bring in as many buildings and heroes as possible. We can also expand our kingdom. Now, when we started, we had just that central part of the castle, and I've since added on a reception hall and a spy quarters. Now let's add on the knight's barracks. It's a big, imposing part of the castle. You'll see what that's like. Boom. So that's how you build things out. Normally, you go and put in a new hero, which we're going to do, but I want to do that with the wizard. So let's head over to where the wizard's tower goes. I've already got the physician's clinic in, but now I can add in my wizard's tower, and that will allow me to bring in a wizard. So let's go in to create a sim for the wizard.